This is Swaby from The Heavy, and you're listening to Recess with Spinelli.
You are listening to Recess with Spinelli, WSPN, Saratoga Springs, New York, Hoxton FM, London, England. And today we are here at the Vapor Nightclub in Saratoga Springs with the Bath, England rock band, The Heavy. And this is Kelvin.
It's so funny when you say it, it's like the Bath, England rock band, because it just doesn't sound correct. But yeah, we do come from Bath, and we are like a rock and roll band, and we're pretty mean as well, so yeah.
Is there any correct way of describing it that you would use?
No, there's no correct way of describing what we do. You know, we are our own entity. You know, someone described us years ago, I think from the BBC. I think it was for the House the Dirt Bill, and they kind of said, imagine being in your favourite bands at the same time, so playing in your favourite bands at the same time. It's kind of like, yeah, and The Heavy, kind of, that's what they do. Yeah. That's how they are, that's what we are, and we pretty much do that.
I mean, you definitely seem to encompass kind of like that rock, that soul, and a whole bunch of different genres all in one.
Absolutely. You know, well, the thing is that everything goes together, doesn't it? And especially within this age, you can't be like, all right, well, we're just going to do a strict blues thing, or there are people that are doing that. They're doing the strict blues, and they're kind of going back, and they're doing the throwback thing and doing it really, really well. You know, there's such a resurgence like at the moment with a lot of kind of 70s soul kind of happening, or late 60s, early 70s soul kind of happening, and I'm enjoying it, but I don't want to make it. I love what we do as a band by taking the influence from that late 60s, 70s kind of soul vibe, you know. But then I still love the way that rock and roll sounded in the 50s, you know. So you get that, throw it with those big badass horns, it turns it into something else.
Now, what I'm really impressed with is the way that you're able to motivate the crowd here in the concert, and to kind of get them really involved in your performance. So, I mean, how do you do that?
I think, and especially kind of going into this next record, we have our record coming out, Hurt the Merciless. And when we were writing this record, and when I was writing the songs that, you know, I kind of contributed to the record, there are some tracks that Daniel kind of contributed to the record, and when we were talking about the chorus, I was just like, okay, so we need to kind of figure out, because we know what the crowd love. We know how they love to kind of sing along. You know, we love the crowd being a part of what we do. You know, and it's kind of like, if on the record you hear like a gospel choir, it's great. That's amazing that you hear a gospel choir. But how incredible is it that you have 200 to 2,000 people singing your chorus, you know? And so I really, really love that. And so when you're kind of saying, how do we do that? It's just like, we write great hooks.
It's music that can be interactive with the audience.
Absolutely.
When you're not on stage, obviously, and you're trying to get your album out there, how do you engage with your audience in a way that still maintains that interaction, if you will, that same energy, that same passion, so folks initially go out to see the show or purchase the album, or just keep following all the news about you guys?
Well, I mean, for me, I know that I'm absolutely terrible. I'm terrible because it's kind of like, I have Twitter, Facebook, you know, and I have Instagram, and I kind of have all of that business kind of going on, and it's kind of like, I don't do so much because I still love the anonymity. Like, well, when I was growing up, I didn't know shit about Al Green, you know, unless there was like a magazine article or so, you know, that I kind of stumbled across some shit that someone was just like, oh my God, have you seen this shit on Al Green? You know, I still love that, the mystery of the band. So, you know, you won't find me kind of on social media a ton, and you won't find Daniel on social media at all. I definitely still love the way that we'll kind of record, we'll get shit together, and then we kind of want to get people to kind of hear what we're doing and get people to kind of engage what we're doing. This is like, you know, we have an incredible team. You know, with Red Light Management, we have an insane team.
Your new album, Hurt and the Merciless, comes out on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. Now, is this some sort of elaborate April Fool's plan on everybody, or?
No, it really, really wasn't. I remember kind of seeing it. It was just like, dude, really? We can't bring shit out on April Fool's Day, you know? But then, you know, record company was like, of course we can. we can do that. And it kind of just, it seems as if it's kind of totally perfect, to be quite honest. We are absolute fools. You know, we've been fools for a ton of stuff as to kind of why you get to hear about it, you know. We write it in our songs, you know, we write about it rhetorically, and it kind of works.
Now, on your website, I did see that folks have the availability to pre-order the album, and that you have the digital downloads, you have vinyl, you have CD, and I also saw a deluxe set, which I actually think sold out. Is that right?
Yeah, it's sold out. But you know what? We'll probably bring the deluxe set back, but the deluxe set is, I need to have that deluxe set. I kind of put my order in. I don't even know if that shit is even going to be coming to me, you know, but I love the idea of the deluxe set because it's 7 inches of all of the tracks. You have like the original vinyl, and then you have a CD, and you have an MP3, you get other shit in there. I'm just like, dude, if I wasn't in this band, I'd be just like, I need to get some of that shit.
So you're a big vinyl fan, big vinyl listener?
Absolutely. You know, I'm a crate digger. I'm a crate digger through and through. You know, I've been a crate digger probably since I was about 12, 13 years old, you know, going into secondhand shops and just scouring records, you know, because I was a breaker from the age of 9. And at that point, it was kind of like very electro-driven, like stuff like kind of Planet Rock and even Buffalo Gals by Malcolm McLaren. As soon as it kind of switched to kind of sampling and you had Marley Marl at the kind of forefront of it, for me, I was like, I know that song. I know my dad plays that song. That's like, I remember hearing the symphony, being like, that's wait there, I've got to go into my dad's record box and see if I can find it. But I think it's Otis Redding. I think it's Hard to Handle. Let me see if I can find him. Get it? You find it? Sure as shit. It's Otis Redding, Hard to Handle. So from that point, I was just like, oh, you know, and you know, hip hop producers just became really, really creative. At some point, I was kind of like, I just wanted to get all the breaks that they had. You know, so you kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to find all the breaks you have. Super rare breaks back then. Then you kind of get to a point where it's just like, I want to start just looking for stuff that I want to sample. I want to sample some stuff, and I want to do some shit that's a little edgy or a little crazy. Here we are.
So you got started in all of this by sampling music yourself?
Yeah, of course. You know, myself and Dan, we met, we became really, really good friends. At the time, I was kind of I was coming to New York probably like once a year. I used to come with my mother when I was a kid because we have family here. I just remember kind of being in New York, like, because as an English person, it's pointless. We get to drink at 18, okay? So it's pointless coming to New York when you're 18 because you can't drink, okay? So you can't really enjoy the city. So as soon as I turned 21, I kind of really made shapes to kind of get over to New York, go record shopping, go to Brooklyn, go, you know, touch a ton of record shops, you know, and pretty much treat it like a record expedition over like 7 to 10 days or something. I used to do that. And then I kind of come back and then just like sample shit and just like find shit and sample shit and just be. And when myself and Dan became friends, I was in the midst of just sampling shit, sampling beats, making tons of shit. And then we can't, you know, it's like, I remember having my little Yamaha SU10 because everyone was kind of like using Akai S900s, S1000s, you know. And we'd go into the studio and we kind of do that, but it's just like I had like this little Yamaha SU10, and that shit going into a 4-track, it meant that I could just like play the sample that I was kind of trying to do. And then Dan would just like play an acoustic guitar, we'd have like a song written, we'd just do that shit on like a 4-track, you know. Started doing a ton of open mic nights, and before we knew it, everybody wanted to come to we started advertising that we were going to turn up at certain open mic nights between Bristol and Bath, and before you knew it, everyone wanted to kind of see what we were doing. You know, people were talking about what we were doing because we weren't just turning up with a guitar, we were turning up with a guitar and a sampler, you know, and someone that could probably engineer it for us and making it sound tough.
And is this when you decided to bring in more people into the band and kind of make it more of a true live performance in a way?
Yeah, like as soon as it got to a point where the nights were that big and so ridiculous that it was just like, you know what, we need a drummer, we need a proper drummer, we need a drummer, we need a bass player.
Is there anything in particular about this album of which you are really proud or you would like to convey to the listeners?
This record was recorded a little differently to the way that we generally would have recorded the record. And I really, really hope that you guys enjoy it, because we put a lot of effort into it, because it's so easy to go into Pro Tools and it's so easy to go into Logic and it's so easy to kind of just like play for 8 bars. What we really, really wanted to do with this record was nail the song before we even hit record. So we nailed the song. Yeah, we might have cut it to click, but it makes it easier to kind of edit if we need to, But we made sure that we nailed the song so that you had the energy of what we do as a live show on the record. And we cut everything to tape. We used this incredible piece of technology called Clasp. Enables tape and Pro Tools to work simultaneously. It means that there's no tape wobble that goes into Pro Tools. So it is literally, it's on the one.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to speak with you.
Well, it's been a pleasure to speak to you. But I mean, I thought that we were going to have a ton more time, and these people are trying to kick us out. Crazy.
Looks like it's closing down pretty early.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. Enjoy Hurt and the Merciless. It's a dope record.
You have been listening to Recess with Spinelli, WSPN, Skidmore College, Saratoga Springs, New York, and Hoxton FM, London, England. We've been speaking with Kelvin of the English band The Heavy. Their brand new album, Hurt and the Merciless, is currently available for pre-order and will be out on the 1st of April.